So you want to be like Mr. Spock and do mind melds with people and uncover what they're thinking. Well, you don't need to be a Vulcan to do that. Here are 16 psychological secrets to read minds in 5 minutes. Oh, and you don't need to be a clairvoyant to read people's minds either. If you want to read others like an open book, all you have to do is pay attention to their body language. After all, it's said to contain more information than a person's words themselves. Keep watching for all the psychological tips and tricks you'll need. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us on the bright side. Number 1. Observe their appearance. What are they wearing? If they look more polished, this person is probably there to impress. Is their style more casual? This could mean that they're relaxed. Revealing clothing can be a sign that they feel the need for attention and like pushing boundaries. The answers to these questions are your first clues. You can figure out someone's intentions simply by observing their clothing. Number 2. Notice their posture. When someone is puffed up and a little too confident, this could mean a big ego. As for those who are a little more indecisive and deflated, they probably have a low self-esteem and a real lack of self-confidence. If a person simply holds their head high, they've got pure confidence. Number 3. Watch their physical movements. Pay attention to where someone's body is leaning. We usually lean toward things we like and away from things we don't. Has this person crossed their arms and legs? You gotta know this one by now. It's the defensive body language of someone who is trying to protect or distance themselves. And the final bodily movement is to look for lip biting. Lip biting usually indicates that a person is trying to soothe themselves because they feel under pressure or awkward. It can also show romantic interest. Ooh la la. Number 4. Examine their face. Where are their wrinkles most pronounced? If their frown lines are exaggerated, it could mean lots of worry or stress. This person has probably had a tough life or a lot of responsibility at work. Both of these factors can have a real impact on a person's character. Crow's feet usually mean a lot of smiling and happiness. This individual is probably a joy to be around. Pursed lips usually indicate anger or contempt, and a clenched jaw means tension more often than not. Number 5. Listen to your gut. If it growls loudly, that indicates hunger, so head on over to the hors d'oeuvres. Otherwise, have you ever had a negative reaction to someone you literally just met? You can thank your gut feeling for that. Generally speaking, our gut can sense the things that are beyond the obvious. So if yours is telling you something is just off about a certain person, you might want to take the hint. And it's not always a bad gut feeling either. Sometimes you can have an inexplicable good feeling about someone. Of course, our intuition isn't 100% calibrated, so it's a good idea to factor in other cues when reading someone. Number 6. Recognize the chills. This reaction is an important component of our internal people reader meter, also known as our intuition or gut feeling. Anyway, we usually get the chills or goosebumps when someone moves us, strikes an emotional chord, or inspires us. However, creepy people and situations can also make the hairs on your neck stand up. Ew. Number 7. Look out for flashes of insight. During interactions, you might have a flash of insight about a person that hits you out of nowhere. Beware of these sudden alerts. They can be critical in helping you figure someone out. Number 8. Look for emotional empathy. Humans, as social creatures, are programmed to have empathy. It's the instinctual reaction of feeling something that someone else is feeling. Whether it's a friend that's grieving a loss or one that's celebrating some victory, you just can't help but feel with them too. If someone shows empathy or alternatively lacks it, it can be either a really good or a really bad sign. Number 9. Beware of their vibe. Does someone lift the energy in a room or bring it way down? Do they have a creepy vibe? Maybe it's a guy that stares at you for too long or steps too far into your personal space without your permission. Most of the time, creepy people don't even understand social cues. Then again, some of them just don't care, especially if you've tried to establish a boundary and they continue to cross it again and again. Then you might confront them directly with something like, "Hey man, you're harshing my vibe." Or maybe not. Number 10. Observe their eyes. Do they make eye contact? If they don't, they could be trying to hide something, or perhaps they're just shy. Do they have kind and caring eyes? These eyes also sort of smile. And you're able to see compassion in them. They connect with you in a good way. As for mean eyes, they're usually squinting a little bit. Mean eyes are completely devoid of any compassion and are hard to connect with. Note the gut feeling you get when looking into someone's eyes. This will give you a good indication of their intentions. Number 11. If there's physical contact, analyze it. Does their handshake or hug feel warm and inviting? Or does it make you feel like you want to run for the nearest exit? Speaking of handshakes, they're practically a language in and of themselves. A hand with sweaty palms most definitely indicates nervousness. Of course, there's the limp and weak handshake, which usually means the person has low self-esteem. The hand-crushing one tends to come from someone who feels they need to dominate the situation. And then there's the one that feels like a hug, where the person shakes your hand with both of theirs. Body language experts say that this type is a deliberate attempt to show more affection and strengthen one's relationship with another person. Number 12. Listen to their tone. Remember, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Tone is everything. If it's cold and flat, the person is trying to create distance. If it's warm and sweet, they're trying to get closer. The tone of voice can literally set the tone for the relationship. Number 13. Look for physical barriers. We tend to subconsciously put up barriers between ourselves and others. We may place our purse on a chair or table as a sort of wall between ourselves and someone else. But this person is usually someone we don't know or don't feel comfortable with. If someone has built a sort of wall between you, then chances are they're not your biggest fan. Number 14. Watch their hands. If a person hides their hands, this is usually a sign that they're hiding some ill intention or lie. While seated, a person might do this by placing their hands on their lap under the table. And while standing up or sitting down, you might see them place their hands in their pockets or behind their back. If someone has their hands under their chin, then this gesture is usually associated with decision-making. The person who's doing this is trying to choose between one thing and another. Number 15. Notice what they touch. A touch of your hand can easily make you feel connected to someone. But that's a very slippery slope if one person feels uncomfortable with physical contact. And in a professional environment, it's a flat-out no-no in most companies. If they touch or scratch their neck, they're likely insecure about something. Constantly rubbing their nose is a notorious cue that someone is lying or otherwise trying to be deceptive. Of course, this person might just have a really itchy face, but chances are slim. Number 16. Look at their feet. Ooh, nice shoes. The feet are said to be the most honest part of the body. So, if it seems like your conversation partner is listening to you, but their feet are pointed towards the door, you should know that they're actually thinking about how they can get the heck out of there. And here's a fun little tidbit. According to Dr. Judith Orloff, a professor of psychology at UCLA, when people cross their legs, they tend to point the toes of the top leg toward the person they are most at ease with. So basically, check that their tootsies are pointed in your direction. Hey, have you ever noticed any common unspoken gestures in yourself or in others? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.